Warning! This video contains spoilers for the 2025 FX series Alien Earth. It may also include discussions or images of violence, sexual situations, and drug use. Viewing beyond this point is a choice you have made, and you take responsibility for that choice. Thank you, and please have a great day.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone's doing fine, and I hope the universe is treating you fairly. Today's video, I'm giving my thoughts and opinions, and that's what they are, opinions, of the recent FX show Alien Earth. Before we get into that, I need to kind of get something off my chest. I, like a lot of content creators, create content on things that we enjoy, things that we love, things that we like. So, you get a lot of videos, this playlist, for example, of things where I'm pretty much singing the praises of everything in these videos because they're things that I love and feel that I want to share with people. Now, there's a lot of people out there, especially with this show, and it's a phenomenon that's popped up last couple of years, and it just really irritates me, is the people that are like, oh, you like this or that, you suck. The problem with those people is there are people out there that have legitimate reasons for disliking something. They do. But these people that are running around going, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, this show wasn't what I thought it was, or this show wasn't what I had in my head, what I wanted it to be, so it sucks. Those people are drowning out the people that actually have legitimate reasons for not liking a show or a book or a comic book or whatever. And a lot of it is tied to hubris and ignorance and narcissism and vanity. I think pretty much everything I've done in this playlist, except maybe Frank Miller's sequels to his Dark Knight Returns from '86, the Batman Strikes Again, Batman, Master Race, and stuff like that. Frank Miller's the Batman, Robin, the Boy Wonder, it's All-Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder. But there was a reason for pointing out things I disliked about it. There were things I liked about it, but the objectively looking at it, not really best. Not really something. For me, I just happen to have the nostalgia goggles to find something enjoyable. Except for that, most of these videos are about things I like, things I enjoy. So, and that's all good. If, like I said, it's the people that are out there just rage baiting and stuff like that. Then you got people out there making videos about stuff they don't like just to get the rage clicks. Not something I agree with, not something I'm fond of, and I just had to get that off my chest before we got into this video. I really enjoyed this series. It was created by Noah. Let me see. Noah Holly, and one of the main producers was Ridley Scott. And Ridley Scott gave us the original 1979 Blade Runner, and not Blade Runner, Alien. He did do Blade Runner, but that was in 82, not 79. And both of them, from the word go, from when it was first announced and all this good stuff, both Ridley Scott and Noah Hawley said they were going to play fast and loose with the Alien universe lore, history, and stuff like that. And they did. There are some things that don't line up exactly with the movies, but are close enough that a season 2 or a season 3 could fill in the gaps. It's, and I'm going to be honest, there are things that the first time I watched the episode, there are certain scenes within the episodes that kind of took me out of it for a sec. But on rewatching the series, all 8 episodes, then then immediately watching the 1979 Alien film, to me is probably, if you're going to binge it, that's the best way to do it, because an educated mind and an imagination, a good imagination, is going to automatically fill in the gaps. Now, what your imagination fills in the gaps may not be what becomes canon in season 2, so you gotta kind of leave some wiggle room in there for the creators of this. I enjoyed it. The premise is xenomorphs and a few other aliens making it to Earth. How the company Weyland-Yutani doesn't necessarily find out about the aliens, but figures out what happened and where things wound up being at the end of Prometheus and Alien Covenant. So yeah, you've got that going on. This series, season 1 at least, takes place 2 years before the start of the Sigourney Weaver 1979 Alien movie. So, one of the things we get introduced to in this universe is you've got world governments as we know them don't exist anymore. Basically, you have 5 corporate entities that pretty much control everything on the earth. Private armies, you name it. It is late stage capitalism at its worst. The 2 main rivals are Prodigy, that's headed by Boy Cavalier, and Weyland-Yutani, which is being headed by one of the Yutani matrons. Basically, this is where spoilers, we're going to start getting into spoilery territory here. Wendy is our main protagonist. Wendy is portrayed by, well, actually, let's go back and look at our main cast, because everybody the main cast, the supporting cast, the cinematographers, the cameraman, everybody do a fantastic. They did. I believe they should just all hands down get Emmys next year and just call it a day. But that's my opinion, and I guarantee the Academy does not agree with me. Our main stars are Sydney Chandler, who is the daughter of actor Kyle Chandler, who coincidentally in the 2016 DC live action universe, he's going to be playing the Hal Jordan Green Lantern, which is kind of interesting that Daddy's over here in Warner Brothers camp and daughter's over here in Disney camp doing Disney Aliens. So she does a wonderful job. Alex Lothar, Elsie Davis, Samuel Blinken, Babu Casey, Ardish Grivov. I know I mispronounced that. My brain just can't wrap itself around the last name. Gourav. Timothy Oliphant. Lily Newmark. Jonathan Ajay. Okay. This particular actor here, if he does not get an Emmy for Best Supporting Actor, the Academy's wrong. He at no point portrays or does a disservice to the character that he's playing. He is, I mean, he sells it. Mind you, I think Sydney Chandler should get an Emmy. Timothy Oliphant, Samuel Blinken. I think they're all contenders. Lily Newmark. She surprised me. Well, the character surprised me. Her character arc surprised me. And the actress did just a phenomenal job of portraying her part. She did. She's phenomenal at it. The premise is basically you have a Weyland-Yutani ship that was out on a 65-year mission. One of the crew members sold everybody out to Prodigy and rigged it where the vessel called the Maginot, as in the Maginot Line. World War II history buffs will get the reference. And it's you get xenomorphs, you get something called the Teoslisk, which is a eyeball squid thing. You get these fly creatures that dissolve and eat things like steel and iron and copper and silicon and stuff like that. And then you get this plant that, or it's not really a plant, it's an animal. It looks like a giant plant. It looks like something out of Little Shop of Horrors. And it is a horror. Then you get these gigantic, you get these blood ticks. Their big difference from their earthbound cousins is one of these ticks can drain all the blood of a human body, and it's portrayed. But it's not portrayed in a gross, ignorant Halloween or Friday the 13th schlop way. It's done what they're doing, how they're portrayed advances the story. At the very beginning, we get introduced to the concept of you have just regular humans, then you have synthetics. Ash, Bishop, from the earlier Aliens movies, an example of synthetics. Then you have cyborgs, which are introduced. They're new here. They're new in this part of they're new to the chronology or the story. And these are humans that have been augmented with robotic parts. The character of Morrow is a cyborg. Then you have the hybrids. The hybrids are synthetic beings that have had a human consciousness downloaded into them, which gives us they discuss this in a couple of the episodes. Are the synthetics, or not synthetics, the hybrids, are they truly hybrids? Or is it the AI building itself around the human programming that's downloaded to the hard drive? Is it the AI just following those routines? And the hybrids for this season are all children with terminal diseases. And they're all downloaded. They're anywhere from about 10 to about 13 years old. About the same age as the children in the actual novel of Peter Pan. Put a pin in that. With Wendy being played by Sydney Chandler, whose her name before her transformation was Marcy Hermit. Her brother Joe Hermit is played by Alex Lothar. He also played, it was an Andor, he was Nimic in Andor and did a bang up job there. Does a damn good job in this one too. So that we've got these six hybrids. They're 13, like I said, 10 to 13-year-old kids downloaded into adult bodies that are synthetic, and they've got superhuman speed, superhuman strength, think at superhuman speeds, but the maturity of a child. And that's beautiful. All, like I said, all of the actors and actresses that played these parts did a wonderful, wonderful job. Which brings me back to Jonathan Ajayi. He's the one of all the supporting characters. his arc in the show, along with Lily Newmark's Nibs, if those actors did not step up, I feel that the show would have fallen apart. It is just wonderful. They hold they they're a tapestry. They are the canvas in which the rest of the show is painted. Those two characters, their supporting roles, and their arcs, each of the arcs that they're prominent in. If, like I said, if they wouldn't have stepped up, the rest, I don't think no matter how good everyone else is, those two characters had to be spot on. But that's my opinion. All of the synthetics are made by Prodigy, the rival company of Wailing Yutani. The antagonist slash protagonist slash complete and total asshole is Boy Cavalier. He is played by Samuel Blinken. And my God, did he land this? He landed this role. From what I understand, I don't know how true it is. I haven't checked on it, tried to verify it, because if it's wrong, I really don't want to know that it's wrong. It's just one of those things that sounds cool, so we're going to go with it. Samuel Blinken's character, the Boy Cavalier, the constant wearing of pajamas type thing, clothing. He's the world's youngest trillionaire. He's like 25, 26 years old. And he does just this wonderful, wonderful job. And he sells that guy. Blinken is over the top selling Boy Cavalier as this egotistical, narcissistic sociopath. There's one great bit in episode 7 in which Samuel Blinken, who's English, playing an American, and he does the American doing an intentionally bad English accent, and him being his native tongue being proper English. To be able to mimic an American mimicking a bad English accent, that I have a feeling that Blinken's going to, over time, if he keeps up, he keeps getting the roles like Boy Cavalier, he'll be the one of the 21st century's best character actors. The story basically, you get aliens come to Earth, the crash land to Earth, the Maginot crash lands. it crash lands in an area owned by Prodigy. So you have several episodes of scrambling to get all the specimens round up. Prodigy, being that this is in their territory, they manage to scoop everything up. And like in all alien movies, like I should say in all the movies and now the TV show, everything goes sideways. Little kids gonna be little kids. You treat them like crap. And I don't think Boy Cavalier, when he created the hybrids, thought that far in advance. He was looking at it as these floor models that he could sell to rich people, sell immortality to rich people. But I don't think he realized by doing his initial experiments with children that children have certain needs and stuff. You just can't upload their brains into a robot and tell them to run along. They're still children, regardless of them being, like 25 or 30, a body that resembles a 25 or 30-year-old human. You still got a 10 to 13-year-old driving it. And like I said, I could probably do a video for each episode and still not cover it all. Like I said, just go watch it. If you have a taste for good suspense horror with a little bit of action, something you have to pay attention. There are things you have to pay attention to. If you don't pay attention, you're lost. It stimulates, but it's not meant for you to get any deep philosophical meaning. However, it gives you nibbles to think about, little things on the brain to think about, to enjoy. Like I said, I really liked it. Can't recommend it enough. The music is off the chain. It's great. It's scored wonderfully. They use a mixture of music from all of the movies mixed with original scores, and it's wonderful. Like I said, if you haven't seen it by now, see it. It's on FX, Hulu, and it's streaming on Disney. Updated my OBS, and I haven't redone the picture, so my hand here, I got to bring it over here to see. But check it out. And if this type of media is not your cup of tea, don't watch it and hate on it. Just don't watch it. It's, don't go watch 8 episodes because you saw this video and hate on it. If it's not your cup of tea, don't watch it. If it is your cup of tea, go for it. Like I said, can't recommend it enough. So until next time, people, be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?